Here's a short story about Sportacus from Lazytown trying to use the armor. Sportacus, the legendary hero from Lazytown. Lazytown stood before the massive armor, his eyes gleaming with excitement. He had heard stories of the armor's incredible power, and he was determined to unlock its secrets. With his impressive agility and fitness level, Sportacus sprang into action, leaping and bounding towards the armor with ease. He landed before the armor, his hands grasping for the massive shoulders. As he touched the armor, Sportacus felt a surge of energy course through his body. The armor began to glow, its metal plates shifting and adjusting to fit Sportacus's athletic physique. Sportacus flexed his muscles, feeling the armor's power coursing through his veins. He raised his arms, and the armor's massive fists responded, crushing a nearby boulder with a single blow. With a triumphant cry, Sportacus charged forward, the armor's power propelling him towards new heights of agility and strength. He leapt and bounded across the landscape, his movements a blur of speed and precision. But as Sportacus continued to wear the armor, he began to realize that its power came with a great cost. The armor's energy was draining his own strength, leaving him vulnerable to attack. Sportacus knew that he had to be careful, for the armor's power was a double-edged sword. He vowed to use the armor wisely, to protect the citizens of Lazytown from harm, and to always remember the true source of his strength, his own agility, fitness, and determination. Here's a continuation of the story. As soon as Sportacus teleported inside his own floating headquarters, he couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement. He had always loved the thrill of adventure, and now he had the armor's power to fuel his passions. Without hesitation, Sportacus launched into a series of backflips, his agility and acrobatic skills on full display. He flipped and somersaulted through the air, his movements a blur of speed and precision. As he landed from his final backflip, Sportacus suddenly felt a strange sensation wash over him. It was as if the armor was communicating with him, imparting ancient knowledge and fighting techniques into his mind. Sportacus's eyes widened in amazement as he felt his body begin to move on its own, executing intricate martial arts moves with ease. He was learning various impressive fighting styles, from karate to kung fu, and his body was adapting to the new techniques with incredible speed. With each passing moment, Sportacus felt his skills growing stronger, his movements becoming more fluid and precise. He was becoming a master of martial arts, and the armor's power was the key to unlocking his true potential. As the training session came to an end, Sportacus stood tall, his chest heaving with exertion. He felt invigorated, his body and mind honed to perfection. With a confident smile, Sportacus declared, "I'm ready for whatever challenges come my way. Bring it on, villains." Here's a continuation of the story. As Sportacus went about his daily routine, he made sure to prioritize his health and fitness. Inside his headquarters, he had a state-of-the-art gym equipped with all the latest exercise equipment. Sportacus spent hours each day working out, honing his physique and maintaining his incredible agility and strength. He ran on the treadmill, lifted weights, and practiced his martial arts moves in front of the mirror. But Sportacus didn't just stop at physical exercise. He also made sure to eat a healthy and balanced diet, fueling his body with the nutrients it needed to perform at its best. In the headquarters kitchen, Sportacus whipped up a storm, cooking up a variety of delicious and nutritious meals. He made salads, grilled chicken and fish, and even baked his own bread. As he cooked and exercised, Sportacus felt his energy levels soaring. He was in top physical condition, and he knew that he was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. With a satisfied smile, Sportacus finished his workout and headed for the shower. He felt refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to take on the day. As he stepped out of the shower, Sportacus caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror. He flexed his muscles, admiring his reflection. "Ah, yeah," Sportacus exclaimed, grinning from ear to ear. "I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to save the day." Here's the revised scenario. Sportacus gazed out of the window of his floating headquarters, his eyes scanning the ground below. Suddenly, he spotted Homelander, the leader of the Seven, causing chaos and destruction on the streets. Sportacus's eyes narrowed, his jaw clenched in determination. "It's my chance," he muttered to himself. Without hesitation, Sportacus turned away from the window and strode towards the armor, which was standing in the center of the room. He reached out and grasped the armor's shoulders, feeling the familiar surge of energy and power. With a swift motion, Sportacus slid into the armor, the metal plates closing around him like a second skin. The armor's systems hummed to life, and Sportacus felt his strength, speed, and agility increase exponentially. Now clad in the armor, Sportacus stood tall, his eyes blazing with determination. He was ready to face Homelander and put an end to his destructive rampage. Here's the continuation of the story. Sportacus, clad in the armor, charged towards Homelander with a fierce determination. Homelander, fueled by his own ego and arrogance, sneered at Sportacus, confident in his own abilities. "You think a fancy suit of armor makes you a match for me, Sportacus?" Homelander taunted. "I'm the leader of the Seven, and I'll crush you like the insignificant insect that you are." Sportacus smiled grimly, his eyes flashing with a fierce light. You should have stayed out of Lazy Town, buddy, he said, his voice dripping with a confident swagger. With a swift motion, Sportacus dodged Homelander's initial attack, using the armor's defense systems to deflect the blow. He countered with a lightning-fast kick, using his incredible agility and reflexes to evade Homelander's clumsy attempts to block the attack. Homelander stumbled backward, his eyes widening in surprise as Sportacus landed a series of rapid-fire punches, each one striking true and sending Homelander crashing to the ground. The battle raged on, with Sportacus using every trick in the book to outmaneuver and outfight Homelander. The armor's defense systems proved to be more than a match for Homelander's powers, and Sportacus's agility and reflexes allowed him to dodge and weave around Homelander's attacks with ease. As the fight drew to a close, Sportacus stood victorious, his chest heaving with exertion as he gazed down at the defeated Homelander. You should have stayed out of Lazy Town, Sportacus repeated, his voice firm and commanding. This is my town, and I'll defend it to the death. Here's the continuation of the story. Homelander, enraged by his inability to defeat Sportacus, unleashed his most powerful attack, his laser eyes. The beams of energy shot out from his eyes, striking Sportacus with incredible force. But to Homelander's surprise, the armor seemed to absorb the energy, its defense systems glowing with a soft blue light as it neutralized the attack. Sportacus smiled grimly, his eyes glinting with a fierce light. That's not going to work, Homelander, he said, his voice dripping with confidence. With a swift motion, Sportacus pressed a button on his armor, and a glowing bat suddenly materialized in his hand. The bat pulsed with energy, its surface etched with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and writhe like living things. Homelander's eyes widened in surprise as Sportacus charged forward, the glowing bat flashing with energy as he struck. The bat seemed to be imbued with incredible power, its blows landing with precision and force. Homelander stumbled backward, his eyes flashing with anger and frustration. He had never been outmatched like this before, and he didn't like it one bit. But Sportacus was relentless, his movements a blur of speed and precision as he struck again and again. The glowing bat seemed to be an extension of his own body, its power and energy flowing through him like a river. As the battle raged on, it became clear that Homelander was getting the worst of it. Sportacus was in complete control, his movements and attacks a perfect blend of skill and strategy. Homelander stumbled backward, his eyes flashing with anger and frustration. He knew he had to end this fight quickly, or risk being defeated by Sportacus. But Sportacus was ready for him, the glowing bat flashing with energy as he prepared to deliver the final blow. Here's the continuation of the story. Sportacus, fueled by his determination to protect Lazy Town, unleashed the full potential of his glowing magical bat. The bat shone with an intense, pulsing light as Sportacus struck again and again, each blow landing with incredible force and precision. Homelander, despite his own formidable powers, stumbled backward under the onslaught, his eyes widening in shock and fear. He had never been outmatched like this before, and he didn't know how to counter Sportacus's relentless attack. Sportacus, sensing victory within his grasp, summoned a giant ball from his glowing magical bat. The ball, which was as big as a house, hurtled towards Homelander with incredible speed and force. Homelander, realizing too late that he was no match for Sportacus, tried to defend himself, but the ball was too powerful. It struck him with incredible force, sending him flying across the landscape. As Homelander struggled to get back to his feet, Sportacus stood over him, his glowing magical bat still shining with energy. It's over, Sportacus said, his voice firm and commanding. You're not welcome in Lazy Town. Leave now, and don't come back. Here's the continuation of the story. Sportacus, still fueled by his determination to protect Lazy Town, suddenly sprang into action, performing a series of backflips that left Homelander stunned and disoriented. As Sportacus landed from his final backflip, he used his incredible agility and strength to grab Homelander and slam him into the nearby wall. Homelander's body crumpled against the wall, his eyes wide with shock and pain. But Sportacus wasn't finished yet. He continued to use his backflips to further weaken Homelander, each blow landing with precision and force. Homelander stumbled and fell to the ground, his body battered and bruised. As Homelander crawled weakly on the ground, Sportacus stood over him, his eyes blazing with a fierce determination. With a swift motion, Sportacus lifted up a giant pyramid and held it aloft, its massive weight straining his muscles. Homelander looked up, his eyes wide with terror, as Sportacus brought the pyramid crashing down on top of him. The impact was immense, the pyramid's massive weight crushing Homelander beneath its rubble. As the dust settled, Sportacus stood victorious, his chest heaving with exertion. He gazed down at Homelander's lifeless body, a grim smile spreading across his face. You should have thought twice before causing trouble, buddy, Sportacus said, his voice dripping with satisfaction. Lazy Town is under my protection, and I won't let anyone harm it. Here's the continuation of the story. Sportacus stood over Homelander's battered and bruised body, his eyes gleaming with a fierce determination. You should have thought twice before creating trouble, buddy, Sportacus said, his voice firm and commanding. Homelander, his voice weak and barely audible, looked up at Sportacus with a mixture of anger and defiance. I will be back, he whispered, his eyes blazing with a fierce determination. Sportacus smiled grimly, his eyes glinting with amusement. Not today, buddy, he said, his voice dripping with confidence. With a swift motion, Sportacus reached down and delivered a crushing blow to Homelander's chest, ending the fight once and for all. Homelander's body went limp, his eyes closing as he lost consciousness. Sportacus stood over Homelander's defeated body, his chest heaving with exertion. He had protected Lazytown from harm, and he had proven that he was a force to be reckoned with. With a satisfied smile, Sportacus turned and walked away, leaving Homelander's defeated body behind. Here's the final scene. Sportacus walked away from the defeated Homelander, his footsteps echoing through the air. He disappeared into the distance, and then suddenly reappeared inside his floating headquarters. As he materialized, Sportacus let out a satisfied sigh and began to stretch his body. He arched his back, extended his arms, and flexed his muscles, feeling the tension melt away. Ah, that was a good workout, Sportacus said to himself, smiling. He walked over to a nearby console and pressed a few buttons, causing the armor to retract and disappear. With a final stretch, Sportacus settled into a relaxed pose, feeling content and satisfied. He had protected Lazytown, defeated a powerful foe, and proved his own strength and agility. And with that, Sportacus's adventure came to an end, at least for now. The hero of Lazytown stood ready, prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead.